Warning, the stunts in this review are performed by professionals or under the supervision of professionals. Accordingly, MTV and the producers must ask that you not attempt to recreate or reenact any of these stunts or activities. I didn't harm any animals in the making of this review, and neither should you. So hey, how's it going, everybody? Today, I'm going to talk to you about Jackass Forever. Get it? Because it's 4 and it's the Jackass 4. You get it. You get it. And also, I'm going to talk about probably the drama around this whole thing with Bam and we'll talk about that just a little bit. Okay, so first off, I'm a huge Jackass fan. I've been a fan since I was like 12 years old. That movie came out, the first one came out in 2002. I was 10 years old, literally, when that came out. I don't know if I watched it when it came out. I know I remember the show, and the show was before the movie, so I definitely saw this at a very young age, which, I mean, explains a lot, doesn't it? I mean, if you know me. But in preparation for this, I rewatched the first 3 movies. Me and me fiance, we watched all 3 of the old movies in one night. Not too hard to do because they're pretty short. Each one is 90 minutes, so it's only 4 hours-ish, 4.5 hours. Not hard to do, and some of them are shorter than that. So it's not too difficult to watch all of them. They're all on Paramount Plus. There you go, Paramount Plus, plug you. You pay me some money. But we watched all of them because I also wanted to do a ranking of these after I saw the new one. So let's just talk about the new one first, I suppose. That way, if you're here for that, here it comes. And also, they're gonna be spoilers. I'm gonna talk about things that happen in the film. Stunts and everything. This can be spoiled. You would say, oh, there's no story to spoil. Yeah, but there is like some stunts and stuff to spoil, which I might spoil some. It's gonna be a little difficult for me to recall everything because I watched all of these. And the stunts, while there are some that stick out a lot, there's also a lot that get confused with other movies, and some of these are just kind of like, you watch it, you laugh, and just kind of goes out of your brain. So let's talk about this newest one. We get most of the cast back, outside of course, Ryan and Bam, which is the biggest bummer for me in this entire situation, this entire thing, because Ryan obviously can't be in it because he sadly passed away in 2011, and Bam can't be in it because he couldn't stay sober, and they had to boot him off set, and it's so sad because Bam and Ryan are like quintessential pieces to this whole puzzle. They bring a lot to the films, whether you realize it or not, and this just cemented it for me in the fact that they really help make Jackass. And I'm a huge Viva La Bam fan. I love that show. I just love what they are about, and you can tell that that's something that's missing from this movie. And before I forget, I'll talk about in the third movie, in Jackass 2, Ryan gets a blood clot, and he almost dies from that blood clot. And he was in a super bad depression, and he got better, and he came around. And in 2010, when they made Jackass 3, he was in such a good place in his life. And what always sticks out to me is he's the guy to come help people. When Bam gets in the snake pit in the third movie, he is the first one to get him out, to help him get out of the snake pit because he just feels too bad for him, and it's his best friend. And I knew that happened. I remember that happening. And I was like, they're just such good friends or buddies. He can't see his friend go through this for too long, And I thought that was just a Bam and Ryan connection there. But later on, when they do the poo porta potty fling, and they shoot Steve-O up into the air, and he comes back down, and it's the worst smelling thing, and Steve-O's just stuck in there, and no one's going to help him, and everyone's like running around, and he can't really get out of there because he's got all the shit on his face, and it's hard to see, and Ryan is the guy to come in there, holding his mouth and holding his nose and everything, but he's the one to go in there and unhook Steve-O from the thing so he can get out. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool that he's the guy. He went in there and did it and helped out Steve-O. And I never noticed that until this next second rewatch, but it just sticks out to me of how good of a guy he is and how good we missed, or what we're missing out on in this new version. What could have been. And, the mistakes he made sadly killed him and another another person in that car that night or day, whenever it happened, tragically. So there's that all out of the way. There's a little spiel I've been working on. I've been thinking about that since I saw the third movie and going into this one. So this newest one, No Bam, No Done, has some problems. I'd still say it's good. I'd still say it's fun, and I'd still say the stunts are good. There's some creative stuff in here, but not as like creative or silly as some of the other things in the past. And there's not as much Steve-O. There's not a whole lot of Steve-O. Knoxville has his good moments. You know, he gets really fucked up in the bull. He redoes the bull scene, and I just was like, oh man, there's not as much Steve-O in here. They really bully Aaron, Danger Aaron. They fuck him up in this movie. He gets his balls busted. Oh, it's so hard to watch. The ball stuff is funny at once. It's funny to see someone get kicked in the balls. And that's one of the good montages of them like doing all this crazy shit. But at a certain point, I was like, they're going overboard with this. And then they strap him into the chair at the end with the bear. That was really great. But it just seemed like they fucking picked on him too much. And I felt bad for him. And usually you don't feel bad for one specific member of the cast because they all kind of get you know, fucked up. And shit happens to everybody. But I just felt like he was over picked on. And I guess you could say it's kind of a running theme because he's the guy that gets the reverse prank with the terrorist bomb. And, you know, I think that's in the second movie, which I thought was the best one until I rewatched them. And also in this one, they have new cast members. And it doesn't feel, I won't say it's forced, but because I like the guy, I like the new people they introduced. Poopy's funny, Jasper, the girl, I think her name was Rachel, and then there's Zach. I think his name is Zach, the big fat guy that's not Preston. I've seen him in YouTube videos, and I know he's crazy, dude. He does a lot of crazy shit, and you know he just feels no pain, has no fear. So they do a lot of good stuff with them. But I kind of wish that they had separated them. Like, I love that there's new faces and there's new fresh people and the inclusion of new genders, new, you know, like race. I mean, there's black guys now in Jackass, and that's cool. There's some diversity. There's new interactions and new things that can happen. And I know there's other, you know, there's been like black performers before, but they weren't like a part of the cast, you know? And I feel like that's something new and that's kind of cool. But they could have had them separate in their own movie. Like, I wouldn't mind them doing a spin-off Jackass movie like Jackass, The New Breed. That's a terrible name, but you know, Jackass, The New Guys, whatever. But that would have been something cool that they could have spun off. But I guess the Jackass guys are too old, I think, to really do a whole movie by themselves and get just fucked up so much. And there's not as many of them now because you cut out. There's no Rab. I mean, he makes an appearance in the movie, but he doesn't do any stunts. You know, there's no Bam, no Done. So there's three less performers that aren't in the movie. So you have to add some other people because, and I understand that, but it just kind of throws off the vibe a little bit of Jackass 3. Feels like such a family, such a tight-knit group of people. Nothing feels forced or awkward. There's times in this when things are kind of awkward feeling, or people don't really know how to act. And I feel like there's some parts where Johnny Knoxville is trying to do something wacky and like, haha, let's have fun behind the scenes. I'm going to do this. I'm going to go at you, Jeff, with this thing. And it just it feels kind of forced, just a little bit, you know, just a little bit. The thing that sticks out the most is when they watch any of the other movies. I'm sorry, I'm fumbling over my words so much. If you watch the other movies and you have the cutaways where there's all the guys laughing and they're holding their guts, they can't hold back their laughter. Those are so real in the other movies. In this new one, when they have the like cutaway laughs of people just laughing at something that's happening, it doesn't feel too natural. And I don't know. It's so crazy. It's so weird. It's so, I don't know. I didn't vibe with it too much. I still think overall it's good and it's entertaining. And if you're a fan of Jackass, you'll like it, but it's not the Jackass that it once was, you know? Jackass Forever. It's a good title because 4 and everything, but like Jackass 3 is probably Jackass Forever, you know, because that one was 10 years later after Jackass 2. That was kind of the big meetup. This one was kind of just unnecessary. And if you were gonna do it, have the main cast there as like, you know what they could have done? Like have their performer that they like a mentor or something, and have them do the stunts, and you like give them some like feedback, and then you do stunts together. But they, I don't know. I don't know, guys. I'm not a studio executive or whatever. Fuck it. I wish they would have got the girl performer. She doesn't do very many things in there, but I thought she was great. She does this thing with the taser on her tongue, and it looked like she was unbothered by sticking her tongue on a taser. And I was like, damn. And she gets stung by a fucking scorpion on the lip. And I thought they would do a cut back to when it like actually really swelled up big, but I guess maybe it didn't swell up as big as they thought it would with the sting. But she didn't get enough things to do. And I thought she was great. That's my only complaint. That's my only like real complaint, is like she needed more things to do in the cast. And they have a whole scene where she's a mime and she doesn't even get to talk she doesn't get to talk through the scene. And I was like, oh my god, they're just silencing this girl. She doesn't say very many words in the whole thing. I don't know where she came from. I don't know who she is. But shout out to you. I hope that they do a new spinoff, like I said, and I hope they put her in there because I like that. All right, I guess that's it. I'll give it. I can't even give it like a ranking or like a number grade. Like 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10, maybe. Spoilers for my list, because we're going right into the list of which ones are the best. It's gonna go last. It's my least favorite, and the other ones are really great and good. So here we go. Let's rank them. Rewatching them, the first one has the best opening with the O Fortuna, whatever the song is. You know what I'm talking about. With the big shopping cart. It's just a great image, great intro. And it's rewatching it. The footage is so grainy and like old, and it's so crazy to see like this is what the first Jackass movie looked like. It looks like a TV show. But it does capture the spirit of Jackass, but in a weird way where like it's so early that I didn't remember this being what it was like, you know. And I thought there was more stuff in it, and I can't even remember any of the stunts right now off the top of my head from the first movie. And that's going to kind of continue on, I think. But when I watched them all back to back, I thought this one's good, but I remembered it being better. And so that goes, so that's number 3. So Jackass Forever, it's ranked 4. Jackass 1 is ranked 3. Oh god, this could be so confusing. Okay, just think of it this way. They go in reverse order for me, from best to worst. The best one, after the 4th one. The best one is number 3, and then it goes backwards in quality. 3's the best, 2's the second best, 1 is the third best, and then 4 is the last best. My gosh, that's so confusing. I wish I had like I wish I was fancy enough to put them on screen or something. Ooh, maybe they'll go here. Ooh, am I going to edit this? Maybe. We'll see. But that's my order. Jackass 2, I remember having this one on my little iPod. Remember when the iPods were so small, but they were like this big, but they had a screen on them. And I used to watch it on there when in like 2006, 5, something like that, 2007. Somewhere around that age, I used to have it, and I'd watch it on there. And, excuse me, it was better. It was a step up. I was like, all right, this is what I'm feeling, you know. What was the intro for that one? The running of the bulls, I think. Yeah, I think it's the running of the bulls, which is probably the third best intro, because the third one has they're all doing something in the dance number. Oh wait, is that the end? No, the first one is, or the third one has the intro where they're in the rainbow and they all do some crazy stuff. The show dance thing's at the end of the movie, or that's the end of Jackass 2, because that's when they get their leg pulled, done, and bam, get their legs pulled, and they get fucked up. But the third one I went to watch with some people from my school, because in 2010, I was a junior in high school, and I went to watch it with some friends, and then it turned out that more friends from my school were there too, and it was just like a little small group of our hometown people in the theater. Like, there was like no one else there but like 10 or 12 or 13 of us kind of guys and girls there to watch Jackass 3, and it was in 3D, and I remember seeing it in 3D. And it wasn't in 3D when I watched it the other day, of course. And I remember there being a scene where there's a helicopter flying around, and Pontius's dick is like onto the helicopter, and it's like flying, and it's going in your face and everything. And I was like, oh my god, this is ridiculous use of 3D. But it was funny. It worked. I guess that's all I got, guys. I'm a little bummed if you can't pick up on that, just because of the fact that I want it to be better than it was. I want it to be a better send-off than it was. They did have a nice send-off for Ryan at the end, but Ryan done forever. But there you go. That's my rankings. Rewatch number 3 if you haven't. That's the one with the slap scene, one of the greatest scenes, one of the greatest things they ever shot, with the high five, you know. Boom. Just rewatch clips, or rewatch the third one, the whole thing, and then search like best clips for the first 2, and you'll get the good stuff, and you'll see the laughing and it's just great. It's so genuine. That's what the best part you can say about the first ones. They're so genuine. The chemistry is there, and this new one just feels like it's kind of forced or it's awkward. So that's the best way I can describe it. But thank you. If you got this far in the video, you're amazing. I appreciate you so much. Like, subscribe, comment, all that other nonsense, and rest in peace, Ryan Dunn. Rest in peace, Jackass now.